Hello everyone, Drew here, or Drew Underground, back with another live stream. This is the first of however many, I don't know how many of these we're going to do. It all depends on how many views these get. Welcome to the first live stream that we're going to call the Waiver Wire, I guess is what I'm calling it, because I don't know what else to call this, in which my younger brother and I get together online to discuss. And I'm hearing my voice in my headset from your end, but either way, to discuss fantasy football and the previous week in the NFL season and the upcoming week ahead.
Yeah.
On that note, joining me is my younger brother. When we talk gaming, we call him Desert North, my younger brother Rob. Hey, bro.
Hey.
So, week 4 was pretty shitty in true football. Like we were talking about off camera. When the DOA teams are doing better than anyone who's actually there doing shit.
Yeah.
But as we were discussing before, we decided to hit the button, y'all. And speaking of hitting buttons, hit the like and subscribe while you guys are here. We appreciate it. If you're watching this after the fact, for those that will be live, well, you don't hear anything right now, so I'm not going to say anything to you yet until you're here. Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But on that note, in true football, which is the league that Desert Nord and I have been doing for how many years now?
It's on year 9.
So this is almost 10 years of this now. I currently have Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Pat, how do you pronounce this? The tight end from Pittsburgh.
Is that Peter Meyer? Or what is his name? What is his name?
It's Pat Firma.
Frymouth,
whatever. And then CeeDee Lamb, and then on my bench is Derek Carr, James Robinson, Trey Higgins, whom I just picked up on the waiver wire, Christian Kirk from Jacksonville, wide receiver, Robert Toyin.
Bunyan, yeah.
Whatever. Like I care. And my kicker is Daniel Carson, Packers defense, and my defensive players, Nick Bosa, Mike Parsons from Cowboys, Mike Edwards from Tampa Bay, whom I just picked up, TJ Watt, who's on injured reserve, and Elb and L'Jarius Sneed. I probably butchered that. But that's what I'm working with on True Football. And with how Aaron Rodgers has been performing all year, I have a problem.
Yep.
I have a guy who's obviously a franchise quarterback, but he ain't playing like he's fucking Aaron Rodgers. He's playing like he's Aaron Rodgers, who's like 90 years old at this point.
His fantasy year has not been great.
Yeah. So my problem is this. I don't think I can get anything for him in trade except for on his name only. And I don't even know who would take him, because the only people really that are active in the league are you, your girlfriend, me, and then Florida Man. Right?
Yeah, there's this. I think I saw activity from Fly Squad too, but other than that, no.
And otherwise, as you were pointing out off camera, picking up Jared Goff would be good, and I agree with you. But the problem is, I can't live with myself dropping Rodgers for Goff.
No, I know, which is why I said if you're going to drop somebody, drop Carr.
And I don't really want to do that because he's got Adams to throw to, and secondly, he's actually been playing better than Rodgers, so he's a good bye week guy. And since if I would pick up Goff, his bye week is not this upcoming week, but the week after, and that's when Carr would play for me at that point. So
yeah, and the other thing is you definitely don't want to carry 3 quarterbacks either. So
yeah, I don't want to do that,
normally-
but I don't have much of a
normally you wouldn't
choice
do
in the
that.
matter, considering that I have fucking Aaron Rodgers. If I drop him, guess what? He's going to be gone before the weekend.
Yeah.
At that point. And no one's going to have to trade for him at that point, other than dropping somebody for him. Which technically is a trade,
Yeah.
but it's not like sending someone to another team for a player. Trade.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I like Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, fuck you. You're a piece of shit quarterback at this point in terms of fantasy.
Yeah.
As much as I like you as a human being. And trust me, I like Aaron Rodgers quite a bit, but
so I was
it's
gonna
not a
say
good
is we lost
situation.
a bunch of players during their games to injuries again.
Yeah, we might as well cover some of that. So, who did we lose this week?
Yeah, well, big one was Cordarrelle Patterson, which is another injury to the.
Which I believe your girlfriend has him as her top running back, right?
Yeah, she did, but he's now on IR for 4 weeks, so he's no use now.
And last I heard, T.J. Watt was only supposed to be out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's been 1, 2.
Then you got Jonathan Taylor was injured in his game.
So in theory, I should have him back by week 8 then.
Yeah. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor got hurt in his game, so he's out for the next week. He's not going to be playing tomorrow. And so that means Nyheim Hines will take over the lead running back duty unit for the Colts. And you had David Montgomery went down initially last week, and Khalil Herbert had taken over in his place and done pretty well the last 2 weeks. But he might be getting Montgomery might be making a comeback pretty soon here, and Herbert's going to fall out of rotation again. But yeah, the Cowboys are pretty banged up across the board. So are the Falcons, and the injuries are going to start to really pile up, I would think, by the time we get to week 7. But it's just starting right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how many of our valuable players make it through, because it's already been a rough season again. And I mean, I drafted Alvin Kamara, but he hasn't been playing much. He sat out this week's game.
The hell is that?
Still,
I had a squeak in my headset.
Well, I don't know what that was either. But yeah, I haven't really gotten much out of Alvin Kamara, even though I drafted him.
Yeah, I just made the move for Goff at this point.
Yeah. So my team in that league is Mahomes, and then Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs, Amari Cooper, who disappointed me last week here, but had done very well in the 2 previous weeks. And then Kupp was the number 1 wide receiver in the league again. Mm-hmm. And then Kelsey, who's the top tight end. And then Herbert, who I'm probably going to have to swap out if Montgomery comes back. And then I got Brett Maher as my kicker, who's done quite well. He's ranked 2nd. The Rams defense that had a bad week last week, but have been doing pretty well overall this year. And then I've got Chris Jones at D-line. he's done quite well, but not, he's not top 10. He's top 20, sort of.
Yeah.
But then Devin White at linebacker, who is the number one linebacker in the league right now. And then Talanoa Hufanga. He is the third-ranked DB. And Cody Barton as my flex, who's done well enough. But I might have to swap around some things.
And then also we're in a second league called No Bench, which, as it sounds to you guys, everyone you have plays, and your bench is essentially the free agency wire.
Yep. Yeah, either start them or drop them.
Yeah. So in this league, I have Justin Herbert, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Waddle, Tyler Bass at kicker, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, and then my individual defensive players are Aaron Donald from the Rams, Josh Allen, linebacker from Jacksonville, Mike Evans, DB from Tampa Bay, whom I just picked up, and Von Miller, a linebacker from Buffalo, from the Bills.
Yeah.
And I'm coming off of a loss in this league, going up against Wrecking Crew, who is 3-1, and I'm 1-3, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, they just nipped by me last week and managed to pull out a close victory there, too, against me.
It looks like Waddle's got an update. He's questionable. That's nice.
Yep. Yeah, so in that league, I've got Mahomes and then Nick Chubb and Stephon Diggs. Then Mark Andrews at tight end. Josh Jacobs. The Eagles' defense is my defense. DeMarcus Lawrence as my defense. Devin White as my linebacker. Jalen Watson as my DB. And Miles Jack as my flex.
Yeah, so on that note, we do have, if you have any Packers players, you do have to worry about them this week because they play Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. Because they're over in Europe, yeah. Akin to the Vikings last week playing
the Saints. Yeah.
The Saints, which bit me in the ass with the Saints running back, who also, as it turned, didn't even fucking play either.
Yeah, it was Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
He sat late. He was a late scratch.
Yeah, and I didn't know about it because I woke up like just before noon before the Sunday games, and I'm like, great, the Saints and Vikings already played, so I'm fucked there. That's nice.
Yeah.
So I had to stay in no bench with a player that didn't even fucking play already.
Yep.
Hence why I lost, because if I could have done that, I might have won my matchup at that point. I hate the London games at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it tough. It really does.
But on that note, let's finish up this, I think, with looking at the weekly pick'em for the matchups for week 5 to go into the preview for it. So let me look that up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that didn't turn out to be anything. Because usually it's been attached to fantasy football in the past. Right?
Yeah. We can still go through them anyway.
I'm trying to find the fucking page for it, though, and I don't see it.
I can just go to the regular schedule. I've got the list in front of me.
Yeah, but I was trying to go for the pick'em thing, like we've done in years gone by, to pick who you think is going to win, and I can't fucking find it anywhere. Do they not even have it anymore?
I don't know.
If that's the case, that's a bunch of shit. Because that was interesting.
I don't know if they have predicted pick this year.
Well, I can't fucking find it anywhere. Yeah, I don't fucking see it anywhere on their fucking fantasy anything on the main website, nowhere. So I guess we're just going to talk about the fucking matchups then, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, the first one is tomorrow night, and that's the Colts versus the Broncos.
Yeah. So I guess we're just going to verbally pick who we think is going to happen right here on the stream then, I guess.
Sure, yeah. That would be what we do anyway,
So between the Colts and the Broncos, who do you have winning this?
Yeah, and I would say the Colts, and the reason I say that is because the defense is pretty stout, and even if they don't have Taylor, they're going to have a very, very fresh set of legs in Hines, who's been doing quite well as the third down back.
Yeah.
And Denver hasn't stopped a whole lot on the defensive end, so I would expect the Colts to win that game.
And the records, as it shows here, the Colts are 1-2-1, and the Broncos are 2-2 currently, and they're in Denver.
Yeah. So I mean, odds makers would probably favor the Broncos just on record alone, but I wouldn't discount the fact that Matt Ryan went on fire last week. He did really well.
He's playing like old Matty Ice.
Yeah, and he went from like cold Matty Ice to hot Matty Ice, from week 2 to week 3. And week 4 he did well too.
Either way, based on how the offense has looked for the Broncos with Wilson so far, I'm going with the Colts tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have to pick the Colts.
The Sunday morning game, fuck my life. Giants at Green Bay, which is not at Green Bay, it's at fucking London.
Mm-hmm.
On the NFL Network, which I don't fucking get, so I ain't watching it.
Yeah.
But Packers are 3-1, Giants are also 3-1. Something's got to give here. And I do think the Packers are going to win the game. So.
Well, I would say the Packers are less banged up. They have less injuries than the Giants do.
And the Packers defense has been playing relatively well, so.
Sure, and they started out slow, but they've gotten better. And I kind of would slightly side with the Giants just because I know that Danny Jones has had a really good quarterback start.
Yeah.
Whereas Aaron Rodgers has really struggled.
Mm-hmm.
So I might look at this game as kind of like a torch passing moment where Danny pulls off a victory over Aaron. But we'll see. I would side with the Giants, but that's just me.
So we're on opposite ones there. Otherwise, next up on CBS, the first normal timed Week 5 matchup is the Steelers at Buffalo. Steelers are 1-3. Yep. The Bills are 3-1. I got the Bills in this one. You?
Yeah. It's hard to not pick the Bills with Josh Allen. I mean, dude, is very difficult to stop on offense, and their defense is great too. I mean, I don't see how the Pittsburgh Steelers pull it off. They just don't have near enough talent to pull a victory against the Bills. I don't see it.
Yeah.
So
after that, next matchup is the 2-2 Chargers at the 2-2 Cleveland Browns. I got the Chargers in this for my biased fantasy reasons with Herbert and what's his name, the running back.
Eckler.
Yeah. Eckler, yeah. You?
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that too. Herbert's been really great. Top 5 quarterback in the entire league.
Mm-hmm.
And Eckler is right behind him in terms of both fantasy utility and his performance in games.
And the Browns I think, having their quarterback they traded for with your Houston Texans isn't doing anything for them, right?
No, yeah, because he's been suspended for
Deshaun Watson.
Being 11 games.
I thought he was playing in the last one, or was that somebody else?
That was a different player. Deshaun Watson has been suspended for 11 games.
Okay.
So he's not going to play most of the season.
Speaking of your Houston Texans, that's the next matchup. Your Houston Texans, Rob, 0-3-1 at Jacksonville against the 2-2 Jaguars. I got the Jaguars in this.
Last week was strange. The Jaguars started out really good, got 14 points, and we're up 2 touchdowns, and then blew the lead and lost the game
against
by the end of it. I was trying to remember. 1 second. It was against the Eagles.
Okay, well that makes sense then.
Yeah,
because the Eagles are undefeated right now.
Yeah, they got up 14-0 against the Eagles and then blew it all, and then losing. So by 2 points. But yeah, the Jags are good, but they don't seem to last in games. At least not lately. Now, the running back for Texas, Pierce, he showed up last week. So they do have that going for them in Texas. But I have to imagine that unless Texas defense somehow shows some kind of spark or something, it may end up being a Jacksonville victory on this one.
So then,
I would side with Jacksonville, unfortunately.
Next up, the first game on Fox, which I will be able to get to watch, and also I happen to live here. The Bears are at Minnesota. So Bears-Vikings. Bears 2-2, Vikings 3-1. Obviously, I'm picking my home team Vikings in this one.
Yeah, Kirk and Justin Jefferson, with Kirk. I mean, it's been a really great combination. And
Thielen is still there. Cook is still there. Unless Cook's
hurt. Yeah. You got Dalvin Cook. He was hobbled a little bit in the last game, and Madison took over. Alexander Madison, who's excellent also. They just have a lot of talent right now on the Vikings team, and they're very banged up on the Bears side of things. So this is one where I would side with the Vikings for sure.
Yeah. Next up, also on Fox, we got the Lions are going to Foxborough to play the Patriots. So 1-3 Lions, 1-3 Patriots. I got the Lions in this because I'm going to be starting Goff against them. So.
Yeah, no, I would expect the Lions to win. They scored a lot of points. They scored a lot of points in the last 2 games, and the Patriots really haven't. Now they haven't won a lot of games this year.
Now they're
both 1-3.
And now the Patriots, I think, are on their 3rd string quarterback right now, who nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah, wasn't it Mac Jones that got hurt, and now they have to deal with the 3rd string guy?
Yeah, because the backup was, I think, Hoyer.
Yeah. Brian Hoyer was their backup, yeah.
He was the longtime backup for Brady, too.
Sure. Just like, Jimmy out in 49ers. But yeah, this is a game where the Patriots are going to struggle to score anything.
Yeah.
The Lions are probably not going to struggle as much.
And the Patriots defense has been virtually non-existent too, to this point.
Yeah, they've been bad lately. They really have been bad.
However, a matchup that is intriguing on paper is up next. By the way, you said you got the Lions in that one too, right?
What are you asking?
I was asking. You said that you got the Lions over the Patriots too, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. They definitely have the edge over the Patriots.
In spite of the fact that I'm a born New Englander, that's where I was born. And
no, you would have never said this if Tom Brady were still there. Tom Brady would absolutely devastate the Lions.
True, no doubt about it. It doesn't matter how.
And he always did.
It doesn't matter if the Patriots defense if literally no players got on the plane or bus to go home for a home game, it wouldn't matter. Yeah. The Patriots would have still beat the Lions anyway at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of good matchups on paper, we got the 2-2 Seahawks going to New Orleans to play the 1-3 Saints. This ought to be interesting.
There's going to need to be somebody's going to need to step up for the Saints to win this game.
Especially since no one gave the Seahawks the time of day after Wilson got traded. Geno Smith is a viable fantasy option if you have two quarterbacks who are on injured reserve.
Yeah, and he's also done well in the actual games.
And also in true football, the listing right behind Goff, who I picked up, was Geno Smith right behind him. So, in terms of fantasy points, but I got the Seahawks in this one. You?
Yeah, it's hard not to. I mean, even if we say Alvin Kamara will be back in action for the Saints, even if we say that, which he probably will. That's not enough. You still got incompetence at quarterback. You still got, injuries all over the defense. I just don't see how the Seahawks lose to the Saints in this game. That would surprise me. So,
yeah,
Seahawks definitely have the edge over the Saints. Yes, me.
The next matchup also on CBS, scheduled at noon. On paper, I don't know what to expect from this game, considering that it's the Dolphins at the Jets, and the Dolphins are 3-1. The Jets are 2-2. But who in the hell is playing quarterback for the Dolphins right now? Because we know Tua is basically dead at this point.
He's basically dead. That's funny.
Well, it's not funny. Watching it back, what happened, it's not funny at all. It looks horrifying to a degree, but at the same time, the fuck's going on with my mic here?
Yeah, Tua's not going to be playing.
Yeah. Okay, good. There's my mic working now. Anyway. But yeah, it was horrifying to see. Obviously, Tua's not playing. Do you know who the quarterback is for the Dolphins right now, then? Because that's an important question here. Well,
yeah.
Tua
Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay. Oh, yeah, fuck. Yeah, I know that. God damn it.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater, the Dolphins are going to be fine because they have, for Teddy to throw to, Hill, Waddle.
They've got a lot of offensive weapons.
The Dolphins are going to be fine. And then Wilson's coming back for the Jets, that being Zach Wilson.
Yep.
And his mama's boy haircut. Yeah, I got the Dolphins in this one going 4-1. And the Jets dropping to 2-3.
I would expect the Dolphins-Jets game to be close, but yeah, the Dolphins probably have more to work with than the Jets do.
However, next up, the second to the last noon game, Atlanta Falcons 2-2 travel to Tampa Bay to play the 2-2 Buccaneers. Yeah, everyone in the grandmother's got the Buccaneers in this one.
Yeah, and the reason why is because the Falcons are the most banged up team in the entire NFL right now.
And Mike Evans, Ted Ginn, if he's healthy. Julio Jones was on the field last week. And a name that we've already mentioned that we don't have to mention, TB, is playing.
Yep. Then the Buccaneers defense has been good.
Yeah. So obviously, if this isn't a blowout,
the Falcons,
I'd be surprised.
The Falcons lost their Cordero Patterson, who was doing great. He's now out for 4 weeks. They're going to have to rely on the rookie Algiers.
And the tight end hasn't been doing anything, hence why I dropped him for the Falcons. For the Steelers tight end.
The Falcons are a mess, so they're easy pickings for the Bucs on this one.
Yeah. So we both got the Bucs in a blowout victory over the Falcons here. And
possibly a blowout victory, but it's definitely going to be a victory.
Yeah. And the final,
I would think.
And the final noon game is the 2-2 Tennessee Titans traveling to Washington to play the 1-3 Commies.
Yeah. Washington has no chance in this game, I would think, because their offense cannot get anything done.
Quite.
So, I mean, and where do you go from there?
The only thing maybe you could get out of the Washington Commies is some garbage points out of their quarterback for fantasy. That's about it.
Yeah. This is a game where fantasy and reality are not going to translate probably
at all.
Well.
Yeah. However, I don't know if this is an interesting matchup, but it's one to potentially watch, even though I think it'll be a low-scoring game. The 2-2 49ers go to Carolina to play the Panthers, who are 1-3. And that's the first 305 game.
Yeah, this is another one where the 49ers are struggling on offense, and so are the Panthers. Panthers' defense has actually been scoring about as many points as their offense lately.
I got the Niners in this one in spite of that.
This is one where I would say I think that the Panthers can pull it off, but it is going to rely on their defense to do it.
But we both agree that it'll be a low-scoring affair, though.
Sure, I don't see how the 49ers can handle the Panthers' defense, and I don't see how the Panthers' offense is going to get much done on their end. So, yeah, it looks like a low-scoring affair.
So you could go either way. So you got the Panthers, I got the Niners in this one, right?
Yeah. And okay. I think it'll be the Panthers' defense that wins it for them.
That's fair. But if the Panthers' defense wins on a safety, I'll be laughing. I'll probably die laughing.
Yeah.
Assuming that Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't step out the back of the end zone again and cost them the game. Mm-hmm. But, however, this ought to be a slugfest if the Cardinals show up. The undefeated Philadelphia Eagles travel to Arizona to play the Cardinals, who are 2-2 at 3:25 on Fox.
This one also is pretty predictable. The Cardinals' offense has been struggling to get much done, and it's not going to get any better because the Eagles are the number one defense in the league right now. Yeah. They've been having a field day with teams.
Yeah.
And their offense with what's his face? What they call him? Well, it's AJ Brown for one, and then the running back I forget. But anyway, their offense has been on fire, and their defense is good too. I mean, I just don't see how the Cardinals, which I'm pulling for, of course.
Yeah, because it's your.
I don't see how they win.
Yeah.
I don't see how they win against the Eagles right now.
I would love to see them be the ones to knock them off for the first time, but yeah, I'm going with the Eagles as well here.
Yeah, I can't see the Cardinals pulling this one off. It'd be a freaking miracle. It'd be like that other week 2 miracle.
And
if they pull it off.
And the last Sunday late afternoon to evening game, I don't know what to make of on paper, because on the one hand, the game is in Los Angeles, so it's a Rams home game, and they're 2-2. But visiting is the 3-1 Dallas Cowboys, who seemingly don't need Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Because apparently they still have a starting quarterback in Rush, even though Jerry Jones has said, we don't have a quarterback controversy. Really? Everyone else disagrees with you, Jerry.
Yeah, now last week they struggled to get anything done on offense, but they had the kicker, Marr, who kicked like 5 field goals.
And they still won, right?
Yeah, and they went. Like, they struggle on offense, even though they have a lot of talent, and their defense seems to make up for it. So they have like a halfway complete team, and it's weird how it works. They really do have a chance against the Rams. It's just because of they kind of have it together a little bit.
But because of how much talent the Rams have on offense and to a certain degree on defense, it's a complete toss-up. So you'd be right picking either one. But for me,
the Rams' offense is high-powered.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
their defense has been struggling a little bit.
But if you look at the game that they just had against the Niners and the Rams, that really wasn't the case all that much, if at all. So on that note, that's why I'm going with the Cowboys in this one.
Well, I'm going to give it to the Rams, and here's why.
Yeah.
Because I know their offense has been great. Their defense has been struggling a little bit. I just don't see if they can excel on offense, they can win the game. And I think it'll end up being that way in the end. When we watch this game, I think that the Rams offense is going to win the game for them.
Yeah. And then next up, I'm actually going to be doing a live watch party on this channel on Sunday night for this very next game. The 2-2 Bengals at Baltimore Ravens, who are also 2-2, at 7:20 p.m. Central Time on NBC and on Universal, whatever the Universal shit is.
This game is a game where you're looking at two offenses that are high-powered with no defense to speak of whatsoever.
Yeah, so given the fact that given the fact that I have a Bengal on In True Football now, he's probably gonna be on the bench because I don't even know if he's gonna suit up on Sunday night or not at this point because he's listed as questionable. Yeah. But I'm going with Joe Burrow and the Bengals here, although with a little asterisk of also considering it's the Bengals and the Ravens and looking at the history of them playing each other in prime time, much less ever. I'm expecting the two sidelines to clear out at some point for a brawl eventually during the game.
Look, what I was going to say is Lamar Jackson over on the Ravens is basically like a hyper combination of Mike Vick and,
and Patrick Mahomes.
The guy rushes for like 100 yards perennially in the game.
Yeah.
And he freaking quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Lamar is a powerhouse on offense, and so is the rest of the guys. Mark Andrews. I mean, they've got a lot of offense. It's just the Ravens are an offensive fest.
Yeah.
But they've got no defense whatsoever.
And the Bengals got 3 starting receivers, and then they also have Joe Mixon.
Yeah, they have a great running back, great wide receivers, a great quarterback finally. I mean, both of these two teams have an insane offense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be a high-scoring affair probably. I would give the nod maybe to the Ravens just because their offense has been even, crazier than I expected.
Yeah.
But it's going to be close. There's no way the game is not going to be close. It's going to be close and high-scoring probably because both offenses are nuts and their defenses are nowhere to be found.
Yeah. So, yeah, but on that note, my stream for the watch party for this game will be starting at about 7:15 or so about 5 minutes before the game starts. So for those of you that will care to watch the game and hear the sound of my voice at that point, there you go for Sunday night.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And finally, Monday night's game, 7:15 p.m., the LA Raiders, 1-3, go to Kansas City to play the 3-1 Chiefs. I got the Chiefs in this. You?
I don't see how you could argue against that either. The Chiefs have a clear edge. The Raiders have been struggling to do anything. They've disappointed fans repeatedly already this year. It's been bad. And the Chiefs have, despite one upset game, have been really great.
Yeah, and we might as well wrap up with a quick tease of only one game to look at for Week 6 coming up here. So we're going to look at Thursday at this point, if you're cool with that.
Sure.
And it's the Washington Commies, who are currently 1-3 going into Week 5, going to Chicago to play the 2-2 Bears on Thursday night. I think I should take a nap during that game.
Yeah, there's the off. I mean, unless something changes, the offenses are pretty weak. The Bears are nothing but run game. They are like 70 to 90% run game right now.
Yeah.
Which I don't see how a team functions with that much run game. I mean, that we're approaching record levels of run game for the Bears. There's no air game whatsoever.
So I guess my early prediction, and this will not be official, we'll make that official if we do this next Wednesday, which we may wind up doing, hopefully. I picked the Commies over the Bears, but that's not official at this point.
Yeah, what I was going to say is
because who the hell knows what's going to happen for injuries, if anything at all, between these two teams before that happens, before they get to their matchup.
The difference would be, I suppose, is that with both teams having weak defenses, clearly weak defenses, and the Bears basically being a run game offense, and the Commanders being a basically nothing but air, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
I guess I'd go with the Bears, and that's assuming that Montgomery comes back.
Mm-hmm.
If Montgomery's still out, then it may be the Commanders to pull off a victory, but it's going to be all offense. There's not going to be a defense. I would imagine not much defense to speak of in this one.
Quite. So on that note, that's all we got for the first edition for what we're going to try to pass off as our fantasy football or our sports podcast here on the channel called the Waiver Wire at this point. Coming up next on the channel is either going to be me playing some God of War or some Horizon Zero Dawn or something. Well, not on this channel, on the gaming channel on YouTube tomorrow at some point, hopefully. Also going to be making its way over from Twitch on Friday, which you guys will get to see, will be what I was doing in Deathloop, which that's currently up on Twitch. You guys can check that out. I did that last night, yesterday, something like that.
Yeah, it's popular right now.
And also, it released today from the Twitch channel to YouTube. I had played Hardspace Shipbreaker on Twitch. That's over on the gaming channel on YouTube right now as well. So go check that out if you haven't, Nord.
Yep.
And beyond that, on Saturday on Drew Underground Gaming, we will be doing the Underground Gaming podcast, talking about Skyrim and Cyberpunk's next game. Can't believe we're saying that now.
Yeah, it's surreal.
And then obviously Sunday night is the Sunday Night Football game, Bengals versus Ravens, or as I will see if we wind up calling it, like your fantasy team's name and no bench clearing brouhaha of a game.
Yeah, it's going to be a
given the history of the Bengals versus the Ravens in the past, and they've gotten into bench clearing fights before during games.
Yeah. I
wouldn't be surprised to see another one. But then again, that was back when Joe Flacco was the man in Baltimore, and I guess Andy Dalton was the quarterback for the Bengals back then, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. But either way...
Which, by the way, Dalton is now a Saints back quarterback. That's what you didn't know.
Yes, I'm aware of that because I was watching some podcasters who cover sports talking about it, which I think was Tom Grassi and one of his various podcasts that he does, either Clickbait Sports or GPS. But on that note, in between those streams, you will be seeing me live on Twitch playing Xbox games or live on the gaming channel playing some PlayStation stuff between now and then. So stay tuned for all of that on Drew.Underground Gaming and Drew.Underground Gams, because it's misspelled on Twitch right now because I fucked up. But anyway, we'll see you guys. It's Wednesday night now, so tomorrow at some point, playing something, what I don't know, where I don't know, but stay tuned wherever it is, and I will see you guys then. Any last minute words for sports fans on YouTube, Rob?
I would just say that I hope we're right about our predictions, and I hope we do well.
Considering that we didn't write any of them down, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to remember jack shit.
Well, we won't have to remember. We've just recorded it on YouTube.
So well, I'm not going to remember any of it anyway.
But anyway, I actually get to root for you this week instead of against you. So I hope we all win our games.
What do you mean for me or against me? Or are you talking about that you're not playing me in fantasy this time?
Correct. I'm not playing against you this week.
Gotcha.
As opposed to last week.
Gotcha. I don't know who I'm playing and I don't give a shit. I just hope I beat them. But anyway, but the same thing goes for you. I don't care when I'm playing you. I just hope I beat you. Anyway.
Sure.
It's one of the fair things in life. It's like death. We're all going to catch it once. And that's a hell of a way to end this. I'll see you guys next time. Later.
Yep, see you guys.
And don't die.